My name is Mary Browning, and I am the senior attorney at Mary J. Browning, LLC.
My name is Jonathan Dilly, and I'm an attorney at the law firm of Slagle, Bernard, and Gorman.
My name is Marsha Stiles. I'm with the Midwest Center for Law and Justice.
I'm Mark Hendricks. I'm the managing partner of Stinson Leonard Street.
My name is Cicely Lubin, and I'm a partner at Stinson Leonard Street in our St. Louis office.
I came to volunteer with Legal Care because they were looking for attorneys in different expertise areas or different practice areas, and I think they know that I'm a family law attorney, so I think it just was a natural fit. And I'm certainly interested in helping people that are less fortunate than some of us, and particularly when it involves matters involving children. One that comes to mind is a young mother who was of Hispanic origin. So that was interesting for me because it was one of the first cases that I had involving an interpreter in a family law case. And in her case, there was real concern about whether the children were safe with the other parent. So that's, as I mentioned, that's certainly near and dear to my heart. So being able to partner with these other parents that are trying to keep their children safe and get a legal custody order has actually been something that I really delight in doing, whether they're a paying client or whether they're not.
Through the Volunteer Attorney Project, I have had the opportunity to do a wide variety of pro bono work. Some of the cases that I've gained a lot of satisfaction from were representing a tenant in an eviction case. One of the ones that's somewhat interesting, I think, to the Kansas City area is, I want to say about 10 years ago, there was a study done on urban blight and about abandoned properties and the problem with abandoned properties. A lot of the properties were owned by the residents until they died, but never transferred to the family. And because of the legal hurdles in order to get the ability to either own the home or to get financing and things like for the home, the homes were abandoned. And once a home is abandoned, that obviously has a negative kind of a ripple domino effect throughout the neighborhood. So one of the missions or goals that the local bar has had is to reach out and get more of these people to do simple estate plans. And so one of the aspects of my pro bono work in the last few years has been a lot of estate planning, a lot of beneficiary deeds, which are very simple, but they can transfer the property to the next generation or to whoever they want to, as well as wills and power of attorneys and durable power of attorneys. But you know, I hope that in doing that, that also helps maybe some of these neighborhoods in the long term from more abandoned homes and resulting crime and things like that.
I like to be a holistic attorney. When you have a legal problem, it doesn't affect just one area of your life, and you have to look at the domino effect into the other areas. And so when somebody comes in and they're having some struggles in life, I want to make sure they don't make any other decisions that are not going to be favorable for them. So I give them a list of affordable housing, and I try to hook them up with food pantries and mental services, counseling, things like that. And we are so affected by the use of methamphetamines in this area. It's heartbreaking. I mean, about 50% of my cases touch on it somehow. I had 3 children come in. One was 16, one was 23, and one was 27. And they came into my office seeking a guardianship over the 16-year-old. Her mother is selling meth out of the house. And having all of these strangers go in and out, the activity is just, and they showed me a little video clip of just an interaction with mom, and she was cursing out the 16-year-old using language that is most offensive. And I rarely tear up when I'm with clients, but boy, I teared up with this one. We had these 2 kids trying to help their little sister, and they just cared so much about her. They just wanted to pull her out. She's doing great in school. She's a cheerleader. She's getting great grades, but she's so embarrassed to bring her friends home because mom might have a crack pipe out, or there might be a deal going on. So she's living as a recluse, and all they want to do is get her out of that. And there's no way you can turn down something like that. somebody's got to step in and try to do what they can for these individuals, and that's what makes my heart beat.
Pro bono service has, for many years, been a core value of our firm. For example, last year I think we spent 21,000 hours of pro bono time, about $8 million worth of donated time. 95% of that related to services to the indigent or to charitable organizations who serve the indigent. So we try to focus on those who need the service the most.
What we've seen is that a lot of the clients that we get through Legal Services of Eastern Missouri, a lot of them are in transition periods in their life. And for them to have us come in and help them get this order protection, it's a great way to help them when they're transitioning to a better place in their life, especially in a family situation. One of the first order protection cases that I handled involved a young mother, and she had 2 small children. And she had been physically abused by her husband over a holiday weekend. And following that incident, he was incarcerated, but it appeared that he was going to be released on bond in the very near future. This particular client's case was a little bit challenging because although she wanted an order of protection preventing her husband from having any access to her children, she did have a good working relationship with her mother-in-law. This case was particularly rewarding because we were able to work together with the client, with the mother-in-law, and the opposing counsel to negotiate an agreement that would allow her protection from her husband, but also to keep a relationship working with the mother-in-law in the meantime. We also were able to craft the order so that it put her in a good position down the road when she pursued divorce proceedings to be able to eventually obtain full custody of these children.